Warriors, rise. Hey, good morning, Warriors. February 17th, could the Ripple case be over? We're going to dive into that. It's heating up pretty dramatically, Warriors. My name is Coach JV. I am the top health, mindset, and crypto coach in the world. Remember, what you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. If you can see it in your mind, eventually you can hold it right here in your hands. What you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. All right, Warriors, we're going to dive right into it. And I've been getting a lot of feedback, so I'm going to keep myself on the screen the whole time. The reason why I did that is because I just want to share with you guys is you don't need a bunch of fancy equipment to get started, Warriors. All you need is a microphone and a computer. A lot of you guys have a lot of great information to share with the world, and you're holding back because you think you need, we have a studio, we have a media team, but it's always just been me and my microphone early in the morning. I've been doing this for a very long time. Now we are getting an office next door. We manifested our corporate office, and so we will have a fancy studio coming up. So I want to encourage you, Warriors, that I built this with a microphone and a computer, traveling all over my house, different states. You don't need a bunch of fancy equipment to get started, Warriors. You just need resources, you need passion, and you need persistence. Well, that goes right into the crypto market. You need passion, you need patience, and you need persistence. But let's dive right into the news here, Warriors. So did Ripple lie about not knowing XRP was a security? On February 17th, the world will learn the truth. So what we're hearing is Judge Torres has ordered the two warring factions, the SEC and Ripple, to unseal some documents that could make or break the case. These sealed documents will finally be revealed who has been lying in court between the SEC and Ripple regarding whether the latter knew it was selling a security. Now, I think we all know in our heart of hearts who's running scared, and it definitely is not Ripple. This is a pretty awesome post from Rosalind Layton, PhD. She said, so XRP was always a security? This is a facetious, she's saying it in a sarcastic way, which was purportedly, obviously, since 2013, even though the SEC didn't know until December 2020. Hinman said we, but meant I, and now no responsive documents is actually 1,000 page of records at SEC. Arrogance is outstanding. So if you check this out right here, okay, if you dive into this, empowerment oversight, the administration from SEC means its previous no record response was false. So what do you think is going to happen? Comment down below on February 17th. Could this make or break the case? Well, let's dive into this right here. So it says on January 28, 2022, in connection with this litigation against the SEC in the Eastern District of Virginia, Empowered Oversight participated in a conference call with an assistant United States attorney assigned to the compliance of, I can't even pronounce that name, who were introduced as SEC officials. During this call, Ms. Verde and Mr. Talarico asserted that the SEC has reviewed the record searches, identified an error with them, and after correcting for the error, had located approximately 1,000 pages of records responsive to requests 21-02-531 FOAI and was still working on request number 21 FOAI. However, they claimed that the SEC's no record response request numbers are accurate. Interesting. What is going on, Warriors? What is going on? Who is going to be caught lying? What do you think, Warriors? Comment down below, okay? So things are heating up in the crypto space. It's getting fun. It's getting excited. This is why I hang on like a tick on a dog, and I'm a fundamental investor. So bank think, time for U.S. to lead the way in crypto regulation. So it went from a year ago, 2 years ago, the U.S. completely backing down on cryptocurrency or acting like they're not getting involved, to Jerome Powell becoming head of the BIS working group, right? Think about that. The Bank of International Settlements Working Group, they're all tied behind the scenes, moving us into the new quantum financial system and a one world economy. That's where we're heading, Warriors. I mean, it's either we rise up, I'm not even going to get into that. I'll save that for another video. But so 13 years ago on January 3rd, 2009 at 1:15 p.m., Bitcoin's genius block was mined. In that block zero of a chain, Satoshi, the synonymous creator of Bitcoin, embedded a crypto time capsule of sorts, a new article about the government bailouts of big banks during 2008 financial crisis. In January 2020, the message in block continues to serve as a guiding compass in our industry. I want you to think about this for just a moment, okay? So Bitcoin was created right after this big financial collapse where all the banks got bailed out, right? We forgot about that, didn't you? The very people who foreclosed on your house got to eat those mortgages back up and re-spit them out into the market. They got bailed out. Did you get bailed out? Absolutely not. We went through some period of peace and prosperity, and to move the financial system, you need problem, reaction, solution. So then we just went through another big problem the last 26 months. More money's been printed in history. Where do you think that money goes first, Warriors? Where do you think it goes first? It goes to the wealthiest people, down to the people who are trying to survive. And as you get your measly little check that you're happy with, they're raising the prices of goods and services. They're going to start to take us off life support in regards to printing money. They're going to raise interest rates, and it's going to create a massive gap in between the rich and poor. And what is going to fill the middle class? Robotics, technology, AI. Let me repeat that. Jerome Powell says he's worried about the economy getting leveraged towards technology and the middle class getting wiped out because it's being leveraged towards technology. There's going to be a massive gap in between the rich and the poor. There's going to be no middle class anymore, Warriors. The middle class is gone. That's why you need to get prepared. Prepared, and it's all right here, Warriors. And we can help you. Click down below in the description. Join our 120-day challenge. Okay, so let's dive right into this right here. Okay, so let's open this up. Oh, we're going to have to restart this. It's going to kick off. Give me one moment.
A lot of people.
Okay, so we're going to go through this video real quick. It's about a 4-minute video, but this is interesting. How much CNBC is talking about it. We know the Super Bowl is called Crypto Bowl right now. Staple.com Stadium is now Crypto.com Stadium. So the public is being predictive or preemptive programmed to cryptocurrency. But check out what they're talking about.
People are upset that, maybe the biggest manifestation of Bitcoin is now going to become China's surveillance digital currency.
Yeah, so that's something that I think is really important to explain, that a lot of people conflate Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies with central bank digital currencies, and they are fundamentally different animals. So the whole point of Bitcoin is that it was created to be independent of government control. No government can shut down the Bitcoin network. No government can stop Bitcoin. This is the fundamental philosophy of Bitcoin. Central bank digital currencies, like China's on the other hand, are literally issued by central banks. They're issued by governments. So they are completely different things. And I would argue that, as you said, nearly 90 countries are exploring issuing central bank digital currencies. This makes the need for independent cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin even greater because governments cannot control them. And I think, we have a right to some sort of currency that is not controlled or issued by a government.
So let's talk about the idea that governments, China being on the leading edge of this, will sit by and allow a currency that they don't have control over, that they can't supervise, with different kinds of rules potentially as apart from their regular.
Have you ever stopped for a moment, Warriors? I'm leaning forward to Mike's over here, and thought about what he just said? The government won't allow. Who the fuck is the government? Think about that. So we all came down here, and a certain group of people, because they have rule, get to tell you what money to use or what monetary. So think about that. Have you ever just thought about that for just a moment? That we sit here and we wait for someone in a White House to make a decision on living our lives. Just have you ever thought about that? You are the president and CEO of your life. Get your shit together.
Or sort of fiat currencies, that they're going to let that just happen. I'm skeptical that they will.
So
they're just going to let that happen. They're just going to let that happen. Let what happen? People become own sovereign citizens in their own mind and raise up into their higher consciousness and take control of their life and their family and stop relying on your government and relying on everybody else and blaming Bill Gates and blaming all these people and finding out that you have the power inside of you to accomplish great things, that you're a beautiful human being with different fingerprint and different DNA. You have a different fingerprint and different DNA because you are meant for something great.
So just to tease this out a little bit, so there are two very separate things. One is Bitcoin and decentralized cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ethereum. China is very wary of those, and China's crackdown pertains to those. But for China's central bank digital currency is a completely different thing. This is basically just a digital version of China's existing currency. It is totally different from Bitcoin. So that is something that they absolutely can control and that they can track. And so that is something that they are promoting now, apart from cryptocurrencies, which they're cracking down on, if that makes sense.
And this
they're
is
totally separate.
Yeah, the sort of irony about this creation, Emily, is that it can be used either to help anonymize, payments and money and all the rest of it, like the effort with Bitcoin, the blockchain, who knows? But in China's case, they have a very different motivation, and now they have powerful new technology to sort of help them do it. So what do you think the message is here for holders of all the other cryptos?
So, I think as we're seeing, many people kind of confuse these, right? They think oh, here's just another digital currency. How many digital currencies do we need? The rise of central bank digital currencies around the world will potentially cancel out these other cryptocurrencies. And I would argue firmly that the opposite is true. I think central bank digital currencies in some ways are the best argument for decentralized currencies like Bitcoin, because one of the problems with central bank digital currencies is that they're not necessarily private. They potentially can be tracked by governments. And Bitcoin is not perfectly private, but it's relatively private. It offers a relative degree of privacy, and there's a lot of privacy innovation happening in the cryptocurrency area. So I think as money becomes increasingly digital, people, and I'm talking about perfectly legal transactions, by the way, I'm not talking about criminal transactions. Even for example, you're paying for something that pertains to a medical purpose or something that you just don't want the government to be tracking every single transaction. I think people are going to look for more private forms of money.
Well, that was going to be my question. Why, and I'll ask it, you really just kind of answered it, I suppose. Why is that privacy so important, and who wants it? And then you raise the idea that we're not talking here, at least you're not talking about criminals trying to launder money or move money for illicit purposes. But inevitably, isn't that one of the things that appeals to criminals who are asking for ransomware, for example, in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency?
Okay, so I'm going to stop right there, because this is the problem. Like this guy, I mean, this is a talking head right here, right? They're obviously being fed what to say. She's obviously on our side over here, or whatever. There's no side. Freaking, there is no side. There's no enemy. But this gentleman is like, if you're a criminal, would you rather use cash, or are you going to use Bitcoin that they can track it down? They could literally track it down, right? Think about that for just a moment. Think about that. Like she said, it's not fully private. It's not fully. Are you going to put it on a blockchain that gets the transaction gets tied up into a block and it's very secure, warriors? Or are you going to use cash? Think about that for just a moment. This foolish argument of its use for nefarious activities. If I was a criminal, a drug dealer, I would use cash. As long as cash would not be trash for a drug dealer, and I would convert it into something maybe like a cryptocurrency, right? They wouldn't know where it came from at that point. It's just an interesting dynamic. So it's all FUD. It's all narrative. But I want you to see this. This is pretty. I waited a little bit to put this out there, but I want to translate this tweet here. Google translates it. Should you trust that? I'm just kidding. Okay, so this is from Russia. Okay, it says the government and the Bank of Russia have agreed on the future regime for the circulation of cryptocurrencies in Russia. Before February 18th, they will prepare a draft law of circulation of digital currencies in Russia's Federation, in which cryptocurrencies are recognized as an analog of currencies and not digital financial assets. Bullish, but news is coming out like crazy, warriors. All of the FUD news you heard was by design so that companies like the next news right here can buy the dip, so that you could be FUDed out of cryptocurrency as China, Russia, America, the powerhouses get set up with their new financial system and what they're about to do. And I'm going to go into some deeper videos. I set up a Rumble account as well, so I can go a little bit deeper. The interview, if you find, just go look for Coach JV on Rumble. You'll find me out there. Go follow out there. I'm going to do some deeper videos that I can't do on here. But warriors, China, Russia, and America are all in bed together. They're all in bed together, warriors. It's all by design. They are becoming the super powerhouse, warriors. The World Economic Forum, they're all connected, warriors. They are all connected. Okay, they're trying to play this thing out, and they're going to FUD the shit out of you. I think they're all involved in cryptocurrency. Companies like BlackRock planning to offer cryptocurrency trading, sources say. Client would be able to trade crypto through the firm's Aladdin investment platform, said one of the sources. BlackRock, the world's largest key asset manager, and preparing to offer cryptocurrency trading services to its investors, clients, according to three people, knowledge of the plans. A New York-based company which manages over 10 trillion with the T, 10 trillion with the T for institutions, plans to enter the cryptocurrency space with clients supporting trading, then with their own credit facility. What the hell is going on? One of the people said, in other words, clients would be able to borrow from BlackRock by pledging crypto assets as collateral. I told you this was coming. Your local bank very soon, maybe not local, but your federally chartered banks, your big banks, your state banks, right? The ones that, well, that would be a local bank. They're gonna custody your cryptocurrency, and you are going to be able to get cryptocurrency loans, Warriors. Cryptocurrency loans. So I want to share with you, you are way ahead of the curve, Warriors. That thing right there, that little symbol right there, the warrior helmet, is so important right now. What does that mean? It's putting your armor on, right? There is no invisible enemy outside of you, Warriors. It doesn't matter what Biden's doing, what Bill Gates is doing. It doesn't matter it matters what you are doing, Warriors. Being an armchair quarterback is not going to do anything. The key is to find love inside of yourself. Love yourself enough to take action for your family. And action doesn't mean going out there and going against people or turning against your neighbor. What it means is finding your truth. And your truth is found with the heart and brain coherence, connecting your heart and mind together. When these two are in accord, when you're operating out of egoic mind or operating away from the egoic mind, and you're operating out of the heart space, you can truly do things that are in alignment with who you truly are. And the more we come in alignment with our heart space and who we truly are, we'll be able to change the world. Because if you want to change something in your outward circumstance, you don't go out and attack the circumstance. You attack your internal feelings, which change the internal vibration. The thought process, the repetitive thought, is going to change the internal vibration, and in turn is going to affect that outward circumstance. Every circumstance is neutral. Your feelings are not. That's why two people can be in the exact, that was four people, two people can be in the exact same circumstance and have a completely different reality. Think about that. Have you heard the story of the alcohol parents? Two kids living out in the same environment. One becomes a raging alcoholic and the other one is completely sober their whole life. Same circumstance, completely different paradigm and reality. So remember, Warriors, this is the greatest time in human history. There's nobody against you. There's nobody against you. The time to look in the mirror and time to find the right tribe and rise together. So down below, you'll see Coach JV _ I only have one Instagram page that is in the description down below. There's thousands of scammers out there. You can follow my podcast, Coach JV podcast. It is one of the top motivation podcasts on iTunes, Libsyn, and Stitcher. What else do we got going on? Join our private Warrior Academy. We have our event. The VIP sold out, but there's still general admission tickets, which is going to give you amazing access to meet me in person and my team. The Bearable Bowl will be piped in live, and Jordan Harry on his team will be our MC there. You also are going to have my wealth building team, how I do my insurance, and also my precious metals team as well. So my whole wealth building team, my technical analysis team, my research team, and a bunch of warriors rising together to help each other become the best version of ourselves. Everything you need in the description down below. As we always say, Warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.